He is the people's champion. He was in attendance on Saturday. Everyone waiting with bated breath for his next move. He is the pride of the UK, the pride of Great Britain, the pride of Manchester, the pride of Wigan. The man who brought smiles to people's faces at the O2, unlike what happened on Saturday. There he is, the man himself. The great Tom Aspinall. And Tom, I do have to say, we have some breaking news off the top.
Okay, go on.
That's our breaking news music. I don't know if you know this, but I watch all your content. I watch it very, very closely. And I couldn't help but notice on the blog on Saturday, the vlog, as they say, we're used to a little bit of this and we're used to a little bit of this. But what's happening on the side here, Tommy? Are we growing in the beard? What's happening over there? I saw some stubble on the side. What's happening?
That's the breaking news, is it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, wow. I mean, we're struggling. We're struggling for content. That's breaking news. Good grief.
What's happening?
I don't know. I'm just trying out a new thing. I don't even know. Look, I don't even. That's barely. There's not a lot going on there, but I'm having a go. Like a week in, 2 weeks in, maybe.
This is you. Is this your protest? Until you get a fight, you're not shaving?
No, I don't know what we're doing, to be honest. I've had that. See, the old Tashan little beard thing. I'm completely aware it doesn't look that good. But every time I shave it off, it just looks worse. Like it's just weird. So we're going a bit of side stubble these days. We're seeing how that looks for a little while. Who knows what's going to happen moving forward? I don't know.
I think the story should be you're protesting. Until you get some sort of clarity, you're not shaving and everyone has to deal with it. We did just give you props before you came on, looking like Clark Kent out there. What's happening with the little...
No. Petesy is giving me props.
What? No.
You were throwing a bit of shade my way, mate. I heard it.
What do you mean? Look at this.
Oh.
You look fantastic here. You maybe never looked better.
Listen to this. So today, this is a funny story. So my friend James Webb. Are you familiar with James Webb?
Yes,
I know
yes.
Pete's is familiar with James Webb. Cage Warriors light heavyweight champion, training partner of mine, friend of mine. So today I wrote up to the gym, and he was like, "Who was your stylist for Saturday?" And I was like, "What?" He said, "Who styled you? Was it like some of the UFC staff, or who was it?" I was like, "Mate, me? What are you talking about?" And you do you remember Ricky Martin?
Of course, yes.
Mate, I'm like a throwback Ricky Martin, mate. Looked fantastic.
I thought you looked great. Stuff. Yeah, he was giving you stick. He was busting your chops.
No, he was serious, I think.
Oh, he was giving you props. Okay.
He's giving me props. He wasn't busting my chops, I don't think. I think he was genuinely saying, and I think he was genuinely unaware that I could dress all right, because usually I'm wearing this kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? I'm just wearing gym stuff.
No, it's all coming together. The only thing missing, of course, is your next assignment. And so let's not beat around the bush. Everyone's waiting with bated breath. Here you are on the program. It's rare to even get you on the horn these days because you're such a big superstar. I saw you hobnobbing with Piers Morgan, telling him he's your favorite interviewer and all that. I didn't take it personally. Don't worry about that. Not for a second, okay? But it's a great honor to have you here and to ask you the hard questions.
Wait a sec. Whoa, hold up. I definitely didn't say that about Piers Morgan.
You said he was one of the best interviewers. One of the best interviewers.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. That's fair game. But if you're going to ask me who the best interviewer in the game, I'm going to say Louis Theroux.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So
I agree with that.
Best, if you're talking best MMA interviewer, I'm going to say it's you.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'll take that. I mean, we could work our way up.
We're working our way up, yeah. I mean, Louis Theroux is the GOAT of interviewers. I think I've seen every single documentary of him. And also, you said you watched the vlog. Me and Louis Theroux are boys these days.
I saw it. He's asking.
I met his brother. I've met him a couple of times, Louis. He seems very nice.
I like how he's asking you on the spot to break down the fights. He's like, okay, so what are we looking out for here? And you kept it real. You said it was a nightmare matchup for Leon.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even know that was recorded. Difficult because my media guy Charlie, he walks around with what we call the stick, and now the stick is a very small, thin camera that doesn't even look like a camera. So he's not like walking around with a big thing. He's walking around with like a little stick thing. And Most of the time, you don't even. A lot of other people as well don't even notice it's there, which is great because you get more genuine interactions. It's not like you're there with a big, massive camera and you're facing a big boom and everything. It's not like a lot of the stuff isn't rehearsed. It's just we were there on the fly. I didn't even know that Charlie was recording that, so that's pretty cool. I mean, Louis is a very nice guy, or he seems it at least.
He's a legend.
His brother seems nice as well.
Yeah, and I'm sorry about Mick Park and your friend. You could see the genuine, angst that you had watching him fight. How excited you were for him for getting this opportunity, but the anxiety that comes with watching a friend as well. And it was a close one, a big opportunity. It seemed in the video blog like he was handling it pretty well afterwards. That he had a good perspective, and to go 15 minutes with a veteran like that. Sure, I mean, surely there's lessons to be learned there, right?
Yeah, it was a tough one for Mick. I really, really wanted Mick to win that one because that fight kind of like flew under the radar a little bit. Mick is like a super nice guy, and he's fighting someone like in the top 10 on his like 10th or 11th MMA fight, which is unbelievable. I'm not talking about UFC fight, I'm talking about MMA. And there could have been, there was a lot on the line for him. He could have potentially got a new contract on the back of that. He would be in the top 10. He would have beat a big name and hopefully become a little bit more mainstream. But I genuinely thought he won the fight, to be honest with you. And I mean, I probably am a little bit biased, but I watched it back and honestly, I thought that Mick won 2 and 3. I thought he just lost the first. I don't know. It wasn't a great fight. Mick, I would never make excuses for Mick, but Mick did have some problems in the training camp and stuff. But it's his job whether he wants to tell people or not. That's not my. I mean, it's probably just going to look like excuses if he says it now anyway. But Mick will be back. Mick will be back. He's still learning, and you know what? There's only one way to get experience, and that's in there. So fair play to Mick, and I'm sure he'll be back better.
When you're sitting there and watching a lot of the Brits, have tough nights and the crowd is booing and the crowd feels flat, you've been in that arena when it's been on fire, when they're chanting and singing your name and chanting for Paddy and Molly, etc. Is there any part of you saying like, like I just want to rip off this suit and represent the country and give these people a reason to cheer, or are you separating the two?
No, to be honest, I feel like we needed, and when I say we, I'm talking UK MMA.
Yeah.
We needed a big night at the O2. And I was looking through the card top to bottom, and obviously there's a lot of names on there, UK guys, that people worldwide won't be familiar with, but I know them because I've seen them come up on the local scene and stuff, and through Cage Warriors and all the rest of it. And there's a couple of matchups on there where I was like, right, these guys aren't the best known guys in the world, but this is going to be a banger, and it's going to bring some excitement. And to be honest with you, it was just flat as hell in the O2 Arena on Saturday night. I was quite disappointed, to be honest, because I think that I don't know. We needed something. Like you say, a couple of years ago, UK MMA was like absolutely banging. We've still got so much talent, but we just need that excitement. And the last few shows in the O2, we just haven't had it, unfortunately. I don't know why that is, but it just isn't flowing the way it was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, well, some of the biggest names weren't there. Obviously, Leon's a big name. You weren't fighting. Paddy wasn't fighting. Arnold Allen wasn't fighting. So there were some big names missing. And the results didn't help as well. You did a great job on your video blog. I think you're doing a fantastic job, honestly, with the production and the uploads and everything. So shout out to you and the team. There's the channel right there of setting the table for this past week. There was a video where you were on a train and you were just kind of talking about everything going on in your life, and you had mentioned that there's a meeting coming up with the brass. This is the biggest story in the sport. Let's not kid ourselves. When your next fight is going to be Jon Jones, all this stuff. We saw him emerge on Saturday at the Dirty Boxing event, and then on Saturday, a picture emerged of yourself, Mr. Andy Aspinall, and the great Hunter Campbell of the UFC, and it seemed like everyone was in good spirits, unless this was at the beginning of the meeting before things got really down and dirty. No, it seemed like everyone was very happy to be there. And so inquiring minds want to know, this is it. What can you tell us? How did the meeting go with Hunter Campbell and your father?
Well, this was actually, the picture was actually at the end of the meeting. And believe it or not, that was probably about 2 a.m., that picture.
Wow.
We had a meeting for about. So I did my event first with Adam Catterall. We had some beautiful people come out there to support us. We did a little meet and greet, and then we did some talks and stuff. It was amazing. It was fantastic. So big shout out to everyone who came there. And then straight after that, we went across town and met Hunter. That was probably around 10:30, 10, something like that. And we had a nice meal. We talked everything through. You know, Hunter has always been extremely personable and reasonable with me. I can't say what he's like with other people, I don't know, but with me and my team, he's been nothing but hospitable and fantastic. And we had a fantastic meeting. Everything went amazing. I understand my position now. I understand what the company's doing now. And you got to stay tuned, my friend, because there's some big news coming.
Okay, well this is promising. I mean, obviously you had expectations, and it sounded like you weren't let down, you weren't deflated afterwards. Dana White also telling the aforementioned Adam Catterall, "We're done, but we're not done." But it sounds like he is confident as well. So it seems like everything is moving in the right direction. Is that a fair way to assess things right now?
I think that's fair. That's fair to say. That's definitely fair to say.
Are you feeling, because I was getting the sense in that video on the train that you were starting to reach like the end of the road as far as your patience is concerned. Are you feeling like you're in a good spot?
I'm feeling like we're in a good spot right now. Yeah. I mean, I'm a professional MMA fighter, UFC fighter, and that, you know, we're doing all this media stuff lately. It's going really well. Like I say, the YouTube channel's flying, the social media's flying, everything's going really, really good with that, which is good. That's really, really nice. But first and foremost, I like fighting people. That's what I like to do. And if I'm not doing that, I feel a little bit, you know, that's what I like to do. I just like to do that. So that's the most important thing for me. And I've not been doing that over the last 7 months. But after the meeting, I'm feeling very optimistic about things. I'm in a really, really, really good spot with everything and my future moving forward. And I think, yeah, it's exciting times, man. It's really exciting times. And the break, I mean, it's not a massive break, to be honest. People are saying, "Oh, you know, Jon Jones is holding up your career and stuff." Like, it's only been 7 months. It's not too bad. And yeah, I don't want to say too much, but
I understand.
Exciting stuff in the future for sure.
So on that point, since July of 23, when you beat Marcin Tybura, when you came back, you have fought for a collective 3 minutes and 22 seconds. And that's because of your dominance. You've had 3 fights. All the fights have been a minute, 109, 113, very quick fights. And yes, you did last fight in July. You're 31. So one would argue prime of your life and career right now. You're flying high. And so, is there any part of you that feels like, Ali, like you're like itchy knuckles, as they say? Like you would have been ready to fight in March. You would have been ready to fight in February. You know, is there any part of you that has to battle this? You know, we remember Volkanovski saying that the time off was doing his head in, and he took a fight that he probably shouldn't have taken on short notice because of that. Do you need to battle any of those feelings?
Yeah, of course, of course. Like, I could fight next week, and I think this is what people don't really understand is, like, I have not been out there doing anything else apart from training. That's just so that's all I do. That's all I do, man. Is just train, get fit, get, you know, improving in the gym and stuff like that. So yeah, of course I want to fight. Of course I do. But it's got to be right. It's got to be right. And as I've said multiple times over, what I deserve is the undisputed heavyweight title. That's very important to me. And like, money and everything aside, that's really secondary. Like, what I want is to be undisputed heavyweight champion. And every day I'm working towards it, man. I'm not sat at home like scratching my ass and watching TV all day. I am like getting involved in the gym every day, and I'm in a really, really good spot with the training and stuff, because we set up this is kind of unintentional in a way. Like, we set up a training room where elite heavyweights are traveling to me from all over the world to train. And these guys are in camp. These guys have got fights coming up soon. And I'm just jumping in and getting involved with them and training at the intensity that I would do if I was training for a world title fight myself. So I'm in a good spot, man. I'm in a really, really good spot. Yeah, like you say, I would rather fight sooner rather than later, but I am also the type of guy that believes everything is happening for me. So I'm sure when the time comes, it's going to be the right time. And yeah, all good, man. I'm excited.
Not trying to add, fuel to the fire, but some interesting stats that we came across. You're now the second longest reigning interim champ in UFC history, 498 days. Hennenbrow is number one, 534. So if my math is correct, in a little over a month, you're going to pass him. Jon Jones's one title defense in the past 750 days is the least active a sitting champion has been in UFC history. Even Dominic Cruz, Tom, who was UFC bantamweight champion for 1,117 days between 2010 and 2014, managed to defend his title twice for an average of one title defense per 559 days. Brow became interim champion during this period. Only one interim champion has defended an interim title twice, and that's Henan Brow. But you have said you're not defending that title ever again, right? You're either fighting Jon Jones, or the next time you fight, it's for undisputed against someone else. And you said that in the video. I'm assuming you shared that in the meeting, and that was met well.
That is correct. That is correct. Yeah, the UFC know where I stand with that, and that is correct. Yeah.
Did you think that Alex Pereira losing to Magomed Ankalaev helped your case?
Yes. Yes, I would never celebrate anyone else who lost. That just really isn't my style, but it definitely helped. Yeah, that's for sure.
I say that not to say that you were hoping that he would lose, but obviously Jon made it very clear that he was, at the time in November when he fought here at MSG, interested in that fight. But now Pereira loses. He wants to get his belt back. He's booked in a rematch. That negotiation chip is no longer there. You're the only guy. It's very clear now.
Yeah, there's not really many places for him to go right now. I don't think. I think the UFC made it clear anyway. I would like to keep faith that Dana and the UFC would keep the word that if Jon Jones is fighting again, it's going to be against me. But now that the Pereira fight's kind of been taken away with his loss and stuff, I think that kind of goes without saying anyway at this point.
Hey there. Sorry to interrupt. Just want to remind you, if you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button. We would appreciate it very much. And while you're at it, give us a thumbs up too. You know, we've got live shows, interviews, clips, and a whole lot more going on this here channel. All right, now back to the show. A couple of months ago, we had one of the most decorated heavyweight champions in MMA history, the great Cain Velasquez, on the program, and I asked him about the fight. And I thought his breakdown was interesting, and it kind of went viral. Can I play it for you and get your response to what he said?
Yeah, of course, no problem.
Here's the great Cain Velasquez speaking about a potential fight between Tom Aspinall and Jon Jones.
So me just watching him, I kind of see his pattern a little bit, and his striking, the way he comes in and strikes. I think Jon sees it too.
Okay.
So I think with that, just because again, he studies, man. He does his homework. You know, he's a master at this. He analyzes things. He studies you over and over again. I think just for that reason, he's gonna know what to do. So I don't think he beats Jon. No.
Your reaction to Cain's analysis?
I would never react negatively towards Cain. He's one of my favorite fighters ever. I mean, the fact that he knows that I exist and he's watched my fights is pretty cool to me. Yeah, I mean, listen, he's an MMA expert himself. If he thinks that, that's fine. And you know what? I'm not really hung up on what people think. You know, this is MMA. This is the highest level of MMA in the heavyweight division. Obviously, the opinions are going to be split, and that's absolutely fine. Like, I respect his opinion.
His note about the patterns, what did you make of that?
Everyone's got a pattern. Everyone's got a pattern, but I think that talking about a guy whose average fight time is 2 minutes and 2 seconds in the UFC, the shortest average fight time ever. If you can pick up patterns from that, you're pretty good, man. You're pretty good. And I think that for him to be able to see that, that's impressive. But the people that think they've seen my game, with an average fight time of 2 minutes and 2 seconds, they're going to have a surprise coming their way, man, because I've shown probably 10% of what I can actually do. And for people to go out there and think that they know what they're watching when they've seen me fight for 2 minutes, there's a lot more there to show.
Do you think Jon Jones wants to fight you?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know, John. I've met him once. I know nothing about him. I have no idea.
What is your feeling? Do you think he, obviously we've heard the reports. I've heard the same about how much he's asking for. So he understands how big of a fight it is if he's asking for top dollar. Do you think he's asking for top dollar so that the UFC says no and he says, hey, I tried? Or do you think he genuinely wants to prove his point against you and then potentially walk off?
Oh, you mean like try and price himself out?
Yeah.
Did that happen against Francis Ngannou, or is that just a rumor? Because I don't really know the ins and outs of it.
Well, I guess it's your definition of pricing himself out. I think he deserves every penny that he's asking for because I think he's the greatest of all time, and the resume would speak for itself. But a naysayer would say, "Oh, the UFC is not going to give you this," so you can say, "Hey, I asked for this. They didn't want to give it to me. It's not on me."
I would also agree with the notion that he deserves every penny that he makes because he. Yeah, he's done everything. He's done everything that he can.
Okay. You did show up with the duck, and on the broadcast, they were like, what does that mean? What does that mean? To be clear, you were sending a message to him, yes?
No, I just like ducks. I'm always carrying a little duck around with me just in case. No, of course, it was just a little bit of cheeky bit of fun. It was a little indirect, that's all.
Yeah.
Bit of bounce, as we say.
I like it.
I just wanted to, just a bit of fun, mate. That's all.
There's a lot of people looking to. Are you getting texts from him right now?
From who?
I don't know. From John, maybe. I don't know if you guys are in cahoots.
Why could you hear that? Could you hear that?
I can hear when it goes. Brr.
Oh, sorry. My phone's on the like cupboard.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
The text was actually from a tattoo guy.
Oh, are you getting more?
Yes.
Jeez Louise. You saw Sean Brady, right? In person. You're like, oh, I need to up my game.
Fantastic tattoos they are, actually. Sean Brady's very, very impressed with them. But no, I've got some words to finish on my arm, that's all. Maybe soon I'll get something else, but I don't know. We'll see how we go because, in all honesty, I'm a bit over getting tattoos. So I've got some words to finish on my arm that needs finishing for maybe like a year now or longer. And then we'll go from there.
Are you confident your next fight will be against Jon Jones?
You'll have to stay tuned, my friend. That's all I can tell you.
I'm not asking, is it going to be? I'm just asking if you're confident.
I'm confident.
Okay. Do you think you fight before the fall?
Are you saying about that 6-month thing?
Yeah.
How on earth do you know about the 6-month thing?
Tom, listen, I don't pry about your personal conversations. I don't appreciate you asking me for my sources, okay? I mean, there's a certain respect here, What do you want me to come out here and reveal everything?
Fair play.
That said, can I just add something before you answer it? Okay, go ahead.
Sorry? Go on. No,
I was going to say, I could see a scenario where they're like, all right, you want 6 months, how about 5 months and we'll meet you at your price or we'll get close. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's that's just what I was told in terms of what he wanted to prepare. I'm not saying it's...
When does the fall start?
I believe September 21st is the...
September 21st? Okay, that was good. I mean, you knew that pretty quick. I don't know. At the minute, as Dana White said, there's still going to settle on a few things. So I'm just waiting. I'm in shape. I'm ready to go whenever. And I'm ready to fight, man.
You don't have to tell me the answer. I'm just curious. Did you set some sort of deadline?
I don't know if you would class it as a deadline, but there was talk about what's going to happen moving forward. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So I feel like we're getting you were anticipating a big week. You were looking forward to a big meeting, and there is clarity, but it's not obviously done deal set in stone as Dana White said.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I can't really talk about, to be honest with you.
No, of course.
And I was prying at you, but you also like to pry, Ariel.
No, of course.
I understand that. That's your job. That's your job. I don't. I'm not pissed off about it. You know, I love you very much, Ariel. It's
Love you
not.
too, yeah.
I'm not pissed off about it at all. But I just want to be careful what I say. Do you know what I mean? I
No,
want to be
of
really,
course.
really
This is
careful
too big.
because
This is too big.
Hunter. I have a lot of respect for Hunter, and I feel like Hunter respects me as well. And I don't want to ruin that in any way. I feel like me, my old man, my dad, and Hunter, we have like a very good, we have good relationship, and I want to keep it that way if possible.
100%. Can I ask you about Leon Edwards?
Yeah, of course, of course.
On the one hand, you could say, awful night at the office. He got stopped for the first time. But then on the other hand, you could say, like, maybe the worst possible matchup for him. Yes, he's had success against wrestlers, Colby Covington, Kamaru Usman. They're not Sean Brady, young, hungry, who's just itching for his chance. What's your assessment of who you saw there on Saturday?
Okay, so you want a full breakdown?
Yeah, I'd love it.
You want a full breakdown of this thing? Okay, so Leon was originally scheduled to fight Jack.
Yeah.
Jack Della Maddalena. That's right.
Yep.
And that was I believe about 3 or 4 weeks ago, his opponent was changed. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Now, Jack is a southpaw bomber who comes to absolutely scrap, whereas Sean Brady he was actually switching his stance a little bit, but predominantly a wrestler / grappler. And in all honesty, I was so impressed with him. Like, I was sat really, really close. I was cage side. I was octagon side. And the small details that he does in his grappling were phenomenal. Like, his awareness of where he is and his opponent is inside the octagon is something that I was inspired by, to be honest. Like, I can learn a lot from watching guys like that. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to. The first round was pretty even. They actually started the fight with a decent exchange, and then Leon went on the front foot a little bit. Which, to me, when Leon's fighting grapplers, which he has done for his last 4 or 5, he goes second a little bit too much. I wanted to see him put his opponent on the back foot and maybe go first a little bit against the grappler, because from my experience at least, when you put a grappler or a wrestler or someone who's grappling heavy on the back foot, it makes it a lot more difficult for them to shoot and initiate takedowns and stuff. So I wanted to see that a little bit more from Leon. Now, at the start of the fight, that's what he was doing. Like, he was doing that really, really well in the first round, seeing Leon a little bit more aggressive, seeing letting his shots go a little bit more and stuff like that. Now, in the beginning of the second, Sean essentially started off with a big blast double and just controlled him in the second. Now, I'm not sure if something happened back there. I'm not sure if he hurt himself or he broke his will or he'd realised his strength and his technique was too much for him. But from that point on, from the blast double onwards, which happened at the start of the second, basically it was rinse and repeat. Leon could not get Sean Brady off. He didn't have a minute to breathe. And Sean Brady, in all honesty, just did a fantastic job of pressuring him. Sean Brady, like 101 in between striking and grappling. And also, he was catching him with some good strikes standing up as well. I don't know if that, I've not watched the fight back, so I don't know if that came across on the broadcast, but he was faking the takedowns, coming up with strikes and then going back to the takedowns, completing them. And yeah, I mean, it was tough to watch. As a friend of Leon's, like, it was tough to watch. And I was literally sat right next to Tim Simpson, who's Leon's manager, and a couple of Leon's friends as well. And yeah, well, it wasn't very nice to watch one of your friends go through that, to be honest.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like, was Sean that good or was Leon not that good? And where did where? I don't know. Maybe it's a bit of both. Maybe it's a bit of both, But I was just blown away by Sean to be the first man to stop Leon, first man to submit him, and to do it that dominant in the second round. 4 minutes and 57 seconds of control time, a UFC record. Leon's shooting was alarming there in the third round. It was as dominant, as one-sided as it gets against a guy that I obviously think very highly of.
Yeah, I didn't see, like I said, I've not watched the fight back. But somebody told me this morning that Leon's corner told him to take him, like, don't, the takedown's there if you need it.
Really?
Or something. Don't be scared to take him down or something like that. I don't know. This is just something that someone told me, so I don't know if this is accurate or not. But if that's the case after getting like out grappled for 2 or 3 rounds, I wouldn't say that was the smartest move. Like I say, I'm not throwing Leon's corner under the bus because I've not seen it myself. That's just something I heard.
Tom, I told you we'd let you go at 6'10". It's now 6'11", so I apologize for that. You're a gent. You're a mensch, as they say. Do you know what a mensch means?
Only through the show, I know what a mensch is. I've actually I referenced the show the other day because I knew that I watched on the show and you were talking about John Cena.
Oh, yeah.
John Cena turned heel. I mean, I don't keep up with the WWE these days, but I know that's big. That's a bold move from John Cena.
Oh, yeah. You met another big heel on Saturday, Drew McIntyre. What a legend he is, the pride of Scotland.
I did, yeah. He was sat right behind me. Yeah, big guy.
Love him.
Dude, Drew McIntyre.
Well, I can't wait to see how this all plays out. It's the most anticipated fight in the sport. Gigantic deal. I hope you get everything you asked for and more. I will leave you with this. At the weigh-ins for the Dirty Boxing event this past Friday, the one in Miami, Jon Jones now, it has been announced as a part owner. There was a bit of a chant in attendance. You know we love the Tommy Aspinall chant. Here's Jon reacting to a chant at the weigh-ins. You're on his mind there, Tommy. You see that? You're on his mind.
Love you guys.
He looks a bit uncomfortable there. He looks a bit awkward.
You know what? He's right. You are an asshole, Tom. You are an asshole for that response.
I'm just being. I mean, everyone's an asshole sometimes, especially me. So I don't take offense to it. But yeah, he did look a bit uncomfortable to me. He looks a bit awkward.
Oh God. Put that on the highlight reel. Thank you very much, Tom. Appreciate it.
Yes, thanks, man.
Always a pleasure.
Great.
Thanks for joining us.
Speak to you soon.
There he is,
Bye.
the great Tom Aspinall. What a legend. Great to have him on the program. Oh, them's fighting words. Jon Jones is awkward in front of the chant. You know yourself. It's going to be great. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.